What's going on, everyone? Appreciate the resub, Safety. 3 months already. Damn. Time is flying. Let's get this going. There we go. So last I remember is we were getting this train ready. All these cars. We don't have the order anymore, but hopefully they exist. So that is FH45. LH89, FH45, LH49. in front of me. This was FH45, LH89. They were both to harbor. G5I. Appreciate the 100 bits. You good, man? I saw you had to hop off. I didn't know if you were still on, so I just started. So we want this one. This one. Going down to harbor, so let's set things up. We're in City West on the sea line, basically. So we want we're here. We're gonna come out. Well, we're already kind of facing this way. That's converge. Go right. Converge, converge. We'll head south. This is south. We want to go left. We're trying to get here. Go left. We can honestly hang that right and use either way. So keep right. Keep left. We'll end up going this way. All right, that's good, man. I just saw you had to disappear. Go right. Yep. Go right. Through City South. Through to Harbor. Check City South real quick. It should still be set up for through. So left through passenger terminal. Converge through B. Converge and on out. And harbor. Our first drop will be D1S. So D1S is in there. The other one's in G. So we'll roll in this way. We'll back into C. We'll pull out. Then back up into D. Pull out. Back into G. So left. Left. Left, 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 and then we'll figure the rest out once we get there. Let's get these locomotives started. That one's cut in. Just gauge the brake. That forward. Turn that off. Turn that off. Make sure this is connected. Good. That one's turned off. Stand up here. We're not that heavy. 136. Is this the heavy one? Oh, not even this. This is empty cars. So 114. So one train, one locomotive could do this. Listen for brake squeal. Oh. .60 speed limit. Cruising, so I'm gonna go. Which one is it? This one. There we go. It could even still be a little dimmer. $4,500. Turn it loose. There we go. Enough to see my face. That's all I really need. Now this way it's not cast in a huge blinding area at the top of my monitor, so I can still see the screen. Gotta see the screen. Even though this train is this locomotive, one should be plenty. $60. Turn this cab light back off. Back here, turn this one back off. Turn them high beams on. We should be good all the way until we get into harbor. Gaining speed now, going downhill. We gotta watch that 60 mark. I'm pretty sure this is where we turn left. Okay. $80-kilometer-an-hour limit here. Going uphill, so kind of have to fight it a little bit. Oh god, I'm not paying attention. Oh no. Oop. was trying to set something up on my OBS. Should be rolling. What the hell happened? I'll get back up there. Be all good. Just it's kind of like a the fuck happened kind of thing. We are about to make that turn, the 60 turn that we had already been through. Welcome back from ads. I don't know what happened earlier, but we derailed, but thankfully I just caught us in time. Just busy setting up OBS docs. So this turn is a 3. It's bright back there all of a sudden. See it out of the corner of my eyes. Some of the trains still passing through there, so we really don't need to speed up right now, or want to. What does that say? 27. Start Start working on the throttle a little bit so we don't lose too much, so much speed that we can't progress. Excuse me. Kick back, relax a little, chill vibes, chill game, minus the derailing. Yeah, figured we'd be hot. So now we've got 2. Three to the right, so I'm gonna point plus 2.2. Turn that off fully for now. Max throttle the rest. So it's mainly that turn. We have to wait the back of the train to get past that point. We're gaining speed. $70. Down into a flat, but it feels like we're still going up. $40 limit coming up, so do that. We should be fine because as long as we're not in the 50s, we'll hear the wheels groan a little bit from the turn. Some possible squealing. Just don't want to hit 50. There we go. Fully throttled down both engines. That slight squeaking you might have heard, or that sounds like sizzle. That is the wheels being sort of oversped in this section of track. They're riding the rail like pretty heavily and could derail if you're going any past that. So 90, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's a big turn up ahead. $60 is the limit. Junction in 0.3 kilometers. $70 limit to the right. Slow it down just a little bit, because now we're going to be going downhill. So gravity is going to want to help us, and we can't let it help us too much. So what we can do is throttle all the way down, just hover the train brakes. $70 limit and going downhill. So we're gonna back off the throttle fully. I'm gonna apply a little brake. Just cruising. Slow way down, 50 limit through here. We were in the 60s, so should still be good. What's going on, Spinner? Welcome in. 60 limit. Auto back up. We can see City South now. Cruise through City South. I need some braking. 50 limit through here. Station should be still set up to just pass right through it. We'll get down to harbor and we'll have a lot of options as far as contracts we can take. There's no implicit. It's raining. Shit. There's no implicit like speed limit for in the station, but it's thoughtful to like stick around 30. Because sometimes inside the towns, the junctions are pretty tight. Back on the throttle now that we're out of the town. I can't wait to get into the DH4, but I think the next thing we're going to do is unlock MU. And that way we can control both trains from this one remote. Both engines with the one remote. It's got a little bit of a healthy downpour going on, so we'll be dealing with some wheel slip. Throttle up fully because I don't remember what kind of altitude change we're going to go through. The weather report did say something about rain late, so this is to be expected. All right, we're up to that speed. We can cut down engine 1 just in case we need to brake. Half throttle. Long sweeping turn shouldn't be too like dangerous for speed. 50 coming up. We'll want to get some brakes going. slow it back down beneath. We're gonna be wheel slipping a little with the braking, just due to the track being wet. Oh, we're getting the thunderstorm. So the rating of these locomotives in the wet is abysmal. Let's see here. D2 in the wet, 2% grade, 250 tons. $60 limit. Can't even really see the harbor right now, but that's military right here. We still got a little ways to go because, like, we got to get all the way over there in the darkness. Brakes. They're gonna have a sharp-ish turn. 40 limit. Now we're just riding gravity. Should be gravity falling all the way into harbor. We're going to be fighting the limits too. 40 limit with this long sweep, but it just kind of right here at the apex, it just, or the middle of the turn, it just tightens up. All right, we're on the flat in harbor, so we can release the brake and we should be good to go. Now we got to get all the way into C yard, I think it is. E yard, basically, back into C, pull forward back towards B, and then back into G or D first, and then G. Right? So where are you going? G. Yeah, back into D1S first. So that's the first turn. We just need to get the ass end of the train past this. What is the key bind for train controls? NB is sand up, sand down. Horn is numpad or number plus and minus. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. So I don't have an numpad. So we're just kind of rolling with it. How's my TikTok crowd doing? 3 viewers, 106 likes. So we can start braking a little bit. Gotta wait for that last car to pass this switch here. And I don't think we're long enough to really be concerned with this one. That should send it straight down the middle. Sure, I can see my phone in case my child wakes up. I'll tell you what, I was up late last night. The entire train has got to be behind this point. Should be doable. Okay. Now the entire train has to be past this point. What did it say for sand? Sand was N and B. Okay, cool. Get some speed. Speed enough to carry the entire train through relatively quickly. Oh God. Slamming on the brakes. Just about. Poke forward just a little bit more. Okay. Now we want this to go right. First drop is in D, which is this straight one. So yeah, to the right. We're looking for D1S. Which switch, keep left, which is right, or correct, keep left, keep left. That's 1S there. Okay, that where it just gets bright again. The behind me? Not cool. Like every time it happens, I think something's going on. What does it look like? Ah, Choo stream's going well. Kind of hauling ass back here now. Look. Appreciate you hanging out. So I gotta get those 5 cars past this marker. It's going pretty good. We've had a few derails already this stream. Mainly it's because I was trying to fiddle with my docs in OBS as far as for TikTok and stuff, and which meant I wasn't looking at what the train was doing. Oh yeah, that sounds kind of badass. Chattanooga. Yeah. It's been forever since I was up there. I don't know why I slowed down so much. No reason for that. Just gotta get this car past this line here. So while go ahead and turn this one in so we can keep our bonus as high as possible. We want to get train past this point here to turn into this yard this way. Okay. So $25,000. Let's go. Yep, the railway museum pulled a bunch of old diesel equipment for grounders for their running steam engines. Southern Railroad number 630 and 4501. That sounds pretty damn cool. I've not been one for like going and looking at that stuff. Of course, I'm just a dude. I like all pieces of machinery kind of thing. You know, trains, tanks, planes, like all that kind of stuff. So like being able to see something like that, that sounds pretty sick. My wife, however, would be so bored. I don't know what my daughter would think about it, but I would have fun. And especially like them being running steam engines, that's kind of sick. What was I don't know. It's probably still closed. I saw a news report on it. I did check out are we breaking? Weird. I did ride, what is it? Dollywood Express, I think it's called. Not 100% on that. when I was younger. That was cool. Braked too hard. Read it here in a second. Did I blow the... Did... Did we run out of fuel? No. Very strange, but okay. Let me get here. G5I. That one. Right, left. That's G5I. Yeah, both of them were actually saved from the Cutter's Torch back in the 50s, and both of them, mostly the 4501, ran special excursion trains acting as a huge PR tool for the Southern Railroad and later Norfolk Southern before being given back to the museum. So they have more miles on them than almost any other piece of machinery and are still in pristine condition. Hell yeah. That's cool. You picked up a lot of information. I'll be honest, I'm probably one of those guys that would have gotten there and been like, oh, steam train. Or gone up there and been like, choo choo. And have been slightly interested in a bit of the history in them, but I've got so much information swirling around this noggin of mine, dealing with Coast Guard business and stuff, that I don't know if I would have retained much. But still right before, during World War I. Damn, that's cool. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that there are very few companies out there that specialize in either refurb or complete refab of critical pieces or parts on board those trains, those locomotives. All right, let's go turn these in. Or this is the last one in. And I did not set the handbrake. I could tell before I even got. Had to do all the part development themselves, which is why they're only 2 running at the museum. That's wild. I would assume that there'd be some big business in like maybe it just being sort of co-located with anywhere that does that kind of work, like trying to keep trains active and alive. Shut these down. We'll take a peek at what jobs we have. Not doing any shunting. No, there's holy shit. 22 grand. Time bonus 36 minutes. So we have to get all those, load them. 8 cars, load them, and then they'd be good to run to goods factory, and then we get another mission for them. There are some wealthy figures involved, but most of the restoration work done on this team. It's completely on donations. I believe that it takes that much. I believe it. So logistics hall. Just gonna dump all these shunt jobs. There's good money in them. I just would much rather be running. So there's 2. Food factory. One is 20. One is 7. Probably get about 28 for that bonus. And probably 12 for that. Let's check the rest of what we got here. We want so 2 to sawmill, both are pretty decent. That one requires long 2 though. A lot of technology to make parts for them is long gone, and for a lot of them they are literally the last members of the class and no spare parts. Yeah, I believe that. Like is something I even have to deal with when I was on board the Northland, the Coast Guard. They don't, Caterpillar does not make the diesel generator that goes on board for our spare. Our EDG, and so when it went out, they had to basically they found one in a barn in Idaho or somewhere like that, and they had to get it, take it, pay for it, of course, and do a complete look over, make sure that it was good to go, basically. I think they found it. Like, I want to say it was not new in box, like in crate, but it was as close as it could get to being new in crate. So these 2 sawmill ones are looking pretty good. Going to one location sounds good. 20 grand for long 2. Another 10 grand on insurance. Let's get the other things we wanted first. So we have 73 grand. We want the DH for 50. And use 30. So we might be getting the MU first. And maybe train link 2, because it's not over the limit, especially because today is supposed to be clear since we're past 6. This weather forecast is updated. But needing long 2. Well, we could do that. MUN long 2. Appreciate it, Sinister. Is Fortnite finally working for y'all? Another big factor is that when engineers say steam engines are almost alive, I mean that they have a mind of machine work not wood. I don't have. I mean, none of the Coast Guard uses steam anymore. But I hear the guys, old guys that worked, that were in the Navy, talk about their big steam turbines for their ships, and they had horror stories and shit. And it's like, golly. But I believe everything you're saying. So we gotta spend some money here. In short, they're a pain in the butt to run, and if you don't treat it right, it'll get angry. Alright, sounds good, Sinister. I appreciate you. If you don't treat it right, it'll get angry and it'll let you know very fast, which can sometimes be dangerous. So the main reason why I even started streaming Derail Valley is because I watched Squirrel play it. Now, I've had the game for a while, like since early access, and I watched Squirrel do Steam for just a little bit and saw him blow one up very easily. So I believe everything you're saying. And now, if we don't make money and we run out of fuel, we're broke. So we've got these 2 for Sawmill. Let's take a look at where the locations be. B3I and C3I. So Sawmill to pull through will be coming from this direction. So it might be easier if we take and drop C off first. It's not as B's kind of short. So yeah, we're already in G yard, so picking up the forestry trailers last would no. I guess we'll do it that way. Do B yard first. Pull through, back up into C. So really doesn't matter how we take this, they're going to the same location. But now we can use the blue cable, which is awesome, because that means I don't necessarily have to control the front train or the front engine separately. So we got to pick these up. This is G30. So now I can just actually pair to this train, this engine. Put that one in. Really doesn't matter which one. Let's unlock. So the only thing we'll have to do now is like basically jump between the two, and we should actually do it the way I had it, just be controlling. You can just shut the front one on and off whenever we don't need it. Oh, that was close. I didn't know if that was going to make it. Physics being a little bumpy. Probably one of my most vivid memories is when I got a free cab ride on another locomotive and was given the controls for a little bit. Opened the throttle just a little bit. It breaks traction, and I had to literally kick the regulator back to make sure it did not spin out of control. It's insane how temperamental they are. That's a wild experience. That is a wild experience. Won't miss much during ad break. All I'm going to be doing is running to E10 or E10 and connecting this wood scrap. So we gotta pull forward, get to here. hit the brakes and then reverse in. And 1-0 is going to be all the way to the right. So we should be able to. So keep left there. Keep right. Keep right, keep right, keep right, keep right. Oh no. Wrong. Okay. So fix this real quick. Left, 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 left. Alright. Quick fix. Take throttle off. We gotta make it past this point before we can start reversing. Swear. Like, so I've got a TV just above my monitor here, and I can see the reflection of the lights going on behind me in that TV. And then it's like all of a sudden they just stop. And that's it. Very fun. The fireman was doing his job no problem, so I just had to worry about driving. We started going up a grade, and the passenger train we were pulling started holding it back. Started physically wrestling with the cutoff and the regulator to keep it moving and stop it from spinning out and stalling. We barely made it over. I've done a lot of things, but a few things will top that. I have no stories like that. That sounds like it was a life-altering moment. Based on that, what field did you end up doing? Well, do you work with trains? Do you work with engines? Should you be an engineer? You whatever. Only thing in my life that, like, it'd be like it's not even really a story to tell, it's just a statement almost. I mean, one cool thing I've done for the Coast Guard as an electronics tech, because that's my job. I'm an ET. I work on radios, radar, anything of that nature. Communications is my main forte. It's what I was primarily trained in. And like those old systems, when we're dealing with, you know, like the 50s and 60s, they're actually currently in meteor. That's so completely different. But instead if I was, hell yeah, that's badass. Um, but yeah, working like on the 270, the cutter out of Norfolk, Virginia. Uh, Dealing with the old 60s gear that's on board there. I got to work with pieces of electronics that hadn't been made in decades or used in decades, but like we had a series of LF, MF, HF receivers on board, and tinkering with those things was always fun. Go in there, tinker with it, and pick up AM radio stations in New York, Orlando, anywhere, while we were currently sitting in the Eastern Pacific, cutting holes in the ocean. But probably one of the more interesting things I've done in my job field is when I got the green light to prototype one of the Coast Guard's first commercial off-the-shelf ROV. So we've accepted that. Good to start moving. Route map. We're headed here. So left out of here to city south. We're still good to go straight through. Go left. Go left. Go left into Sawmill. What's going on, Laria? Happy Friday. Yeah, anyway, so first prototype of a commercial off-the-shelf ROV used for intelligence and counter narcotics, and basically I was handed this big Pelican case and said, learn how to use this. There's no guidance, so figuring that out was fun. And then by the end of it being told, hey, you're going to be a small boat engineer, so we can put you on this small boat. You're going to ride up next to suspect vessels, and then you're going to throw this ROV in the water, and you're going to check for blisters on the hull, where suspect vessels tend to like to put their drugs when they're not like just inside the skin of the ship. The drug runners would basically take a functional boat and build a completely new hull for it and set the functional boat, hull and all, inside of the shell of a hull and tie it all together and fill up that negative space with drugs. Well, most of the time when they build the hull, it's not always perfect. You see like odd warping and stuff like that in basically the lines of the hull, and from that you could tell whether the boat we were on would have double hull, and we'd be able to drill through deck. They are ballsy. Not my favorite job in the Coast Guard, though. People like it. Some people like it. Not me. I think it's a monumental waste of resources. We could, there's so much more that we could fight. There's different ways we could fight that rather than putting 100 people on a ship and cutting holes in the ocean in which we will only really we'd be out there for 90 to 100 days and we'd only get 2-3 cases. At least that was my experience. We'd get a lot of false starts. We'd start chasing, and then within an hour or two, we'd be donezo. Yeah, I gotta give some of those drug runners credit. They're ballsy to do this shit. I've been thinking about going into the Air Force Reserves, specifically the 53rd. They got a special job, to say the least. 53rd Weather Reconnaissance. Hurricane Hunters? Yeah. I knew that. We tend to see them quite a bit where I'm at right now. I grew up down here. I'm currently in Mobile, Alabama. We see them a lot. They like to come over to the Coast Guard's Aviation Training Center here in Mobile. Shoot for it. If that's something you want to do it. You've got the experience. One of my hobbies is actually storm chasing, tornadoes, blizzards, hurricanes, the whole 9 yards. If you were in Chattanooga, you probably just chased some of the storm that happened, what, 3 days ago? 2 days ago? That was crazy. I was checking up on what was going on in Huntsville, actually. Sliding. What's happening? You should have... It's a little heavy. Need to back off just a little bit. Feels like we're getting dragged almost. Yes, I know, says you're right. Just keep bouncing that yellow line. Yeah, though I want to work on getting an emergency kit of sort. Oh yeah, to help out. Oh yeah. We were gonna the unit I'm currently at, basically I'm currently stationed at a shipyard watching the polar security cutters get built, however slow that might be. And so like whenever shit goes down, we often volunteer to go help. And so like when all that flooding had happened in North Carolina, like a few of our guys like just took it upon themselves and took a truck up there. So yeah, it's something we tend to do a lot. Like, just if we see a need, we bounce on it. Yeah, setting up a kit is probably one of the best things you can do. Whether that be a medical kit or definitely always carry a large trauma pack, whether you hand build that or not. Getting even basic kind of first responder training is great. Especially like if you're storm chasing and you're already close enough to be first on scene or early on scene, having a trauma pack. And then the next thing is just like, besides trauma pack, is your basics like water and blankets. Waters and blankets go a long way in any sort of emergency scenario like that. Shock is a very real thing, and most of the people that either you know, don't have a storm shelter sheltered in place, and needing rescue like that, they're gonna be going through some shit, and their body's gonna hurt because of it. So, waters and blankets. I remember when I pulled into the town of Rolling Fork, literally 5 minutes after Nia force swallowed the whole town. Emergency services were overwhelmed, and time was not on everyone's side. Yeah. It sucks. Like, it's harrowing, and I've got stories, not really as far as like the weather phenomenon, but we would do counter migrant ops off the coast of Haiti, and we'd watch as they load up 30, 40, 50 people on a 25-foot sailboat in hopes of just getting across the water to America. And that was gut-wrenching, because you'd see people so far into heat exhaustion or even dead on the boat, and they'd be covered in piss and shit, and sometimes they'd straight up be treated like garbage. And we often find bodies floating nearby migrant vessels. Yes. Tools are a good option as well. You can actually purchase most tool sets that first responders use. So like a great one that is a great multi-tool is a Halligan tool. That will allow you to pry most and like make entry into most things, especially when dealing with collapsed or otherwise destroyed homes. A Halligan will break through most of it. And you can actually even get a full-blown fire axe as well. Those would probably be the first two I would recommend getting, because once you get past the necessity, like once you get past the ability to get into things with a Halligan or a fire axe, you're getting into power tools then. And unless you've got a generator that you can carry with you on the back or spare fuel, which people are going to be hunting for, so you could be put in a dangerous scenario just carrying extra fuel with you. Because once people get scared, they do crazy things. Yeah, I would recommend Halligan, fire axe. A course and base training on it. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like you can actually like get, there are some pretty decent first responder courses. Of course we get, Coast Guard gets trained on it regularly. But looking into just a basic first responder course, how to apply a tourniquet, being CPR certified, even though everyone tends to have like the base knowledge to do CPR, there's certain key takeaways: knowing when to move bodies, knowing how to check if a scene is clear or safe, knowing when a splint is needed, knowing what to do when you have a person with a sucking chest wound, knowing different types of fractures, being able to quickly kind of provide like a first kind of triage, basically, so that if they are able to be saved and are saved, your actual first responders and the hospital knows what you've done and like what kind of chances this person's gonna have after you save them. Yeah, there's a lot of information that can go into a basic first responder course, and all of it is very useful. It just all costs money to get that. Of course, a lot, like there's oftentimes you can find free CPR certification courses. A lot of times you can, not every time. But as far as like your first responder coursework, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to find, but there is often training on it. I don't have the resources right off the top of my head to tell you where you can look to see if there is training near you. I wish I did. I will say, though, yeah, of course, extreme levels of physical trauma from debris, organs punctured, bones broken. Yeah, so like knowing how to, like carrying plenty of SAM splints, plenty of long bandages, tourniquets are awesome. Knowing how to improvise a tourniquet. Organs punctured, really there's not, like, you can attempt to control the bleeding, but in most cases, when you find that there has been a puncture, you're kind of like, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can pack around the wound as best you can. All right, we're still good. Never mind. It's like, shit, coming up on a junction. I have to slow down. You're kind of like packing around the wound, trying not to move whatever object is, or a foreign object. Noting where, and having a basic understanding of the human anatomy and what, where the foreign object is, what kind of issues you could be looking for. But I was gonna say, if you did your kind of Air Force Reserves route, that would be a great method to getting a lot of that training for free. Of course, you pay with your being a reservist in the military, but you get paid for doing that, and you'll get paid for going to these trainings as well. Just if you really try to do that, as far as the Air Force Reserves are, make sure you get that written in blood that you're gonna go there after you complete your training. Yeah. Everything hurts at 200 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Sure is. There have been a select few cases where people are losing skin. Yeah, I wouldn't choose that either. That's not a way to go. Not a way to go, but I haven't, of course I don't handle a lot of that. I have not responded to many cases like that. Like as far as we haven't, when there is a state of emergency in place, that's when we get called a lot to see if we can support. But I have not experienced that. Most I've dealt with is electrical shock. Electrical shock and knowing the difference, being able to eyeball the difference of what type of electrical shock that your victim has gone through. Jesus. Purpose-built shelter right out of the ground. Damn. And then that box turned into a rock tumbler. What's going on, Big Eric? What's going on, Eric? How y'all's Fortnite? Go. I heard y'all having some network issues. Just another day. I mean, it was all right. Just chilling on here. Might derail here. I'm going really quick. Hopefully the brakes save me here. All right. Whew. It's close. Basically, am I an engineer personally? No. But in this game, I'm everything. I don't know all the terms. The other guy in here, Spinner Tornado, might know all the terms for all a lot of the positions. I do not. I just like to drive trains. This is Derail Valley. It's probably one of the better off-the-shelf train simulator games that you can get. Of course, you've got games like Train Sim World or Train... I can't remember the name of it, but games like that, which cost shitloads of money because you pay for routes on there. On here, you're given a world map and you're just running loads between each of these towns based on the contracts you can pull at certain locations. Right now, like, this is very early game, kind of. I'm only like 5 runs in, and I've got these 2 D2s, which are basically small shunting train locomotives, very low powered, but they're both hooked up together. Currently hauling a bunch of forestry equipment and wood scraps on the back. Train length 93 meters and another 216 meters. These are backwards, but so almost 300 meters long. I mean, who doesn't? That's what Spinner was talking about earlier. He had a crazy story where he actually got to take controls of I guess of what, a steam cab. He could explain it more. Yeah. It doesn't sound as good in the game, the Choo Choo. Here. It's worse as I have to control it with damn mouse wheel, so it's not like I can hold it for a decent amount. There are steam engines in this game though. They're a handful, and I haven't fully learned them yet. And there's a lot to like take into account and work. Oh, last tree. Yeah, you might be out of date a little bit. Steam engines in this game are very fun to use. Take some learning, but they have tons and tons of power. So it's super rewarding. Yeah, I'll have to check them out like when I get further down the line. Really, I'm shooting DE2 to DH4 to DE6. In this game, you're coal. As far as I remember, at least the engine back when I played, when the game first kind of came out, it was coal. Now there's another kind of Railroads Online where you actually build the railroad as well, and it's I want to say that was wood. If you're going Steam, the Desk 282 is actually easier to drive, and it's super strong, like DE6 strong for only 50k. I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna end up probably shooting DE6 mainly because of the MU, and now that we have train length 2, I just need concurrent orders 2, and I'll try to do a really big stack, really long, and then I'll have to go find the slug, and at some point do museum so I can rebuild some of these locomotives that I'm finding. Yeah, the E6 best one out of them all. Yeah. I want it just because of the MU. Like right now, since I just got the MU and I can cross connect these two and drive from one. I was basically driving from one earlier. The MU just makes it so that this remote that I have, if I hop out, I can control everything from this one remote, both engines. You have to at the beginning. So we should be coming up on Sawmill. So you will go to... We should have... Let's... On the back. This needs to go to B3I. So that yard right there. So gotta back it up. So do you regulate the runs you do, like cargo type and car amount? Not really cargo type, like, well, I guess so, actually. Certain contracts require certain licenses. So hazmat, that would be a certain license that I'd have to get. Military orders, so tanks and stuff like that, weaponry, explosives, that's a certain license that I have to purchase to be able to do. We got a lot of weight going downhill, so hopefully we can make it back up. Oh. Shit. So do you regularly, also I would actually avoid railroads online. It's very buggy and all, because it's caused by a stuck up. Yep. Well, it's not that it's just incompetent dev team. It's because they kind of went through a change in leadership and just decided that they wanted to rewrite the whole damn thing. It was fun at the beginning and yeah, a little buggy, but you could make it work, and then all of a sudden it was rough. Game's hard to make. Am I having fun, Stewie? I like this game, but right now I'm gonna have a bitch of a time because I had to stop. I should have just rolled straight through and then backed in, but I didn't. So now I'm gonna deal with rolling, and I might have to roll back down to a flat and get a run up. I just need to get this to the point where yes. All of that is 100% true. Like, of course I saw it. I saw the game in a early access YouTube video. And even then it was like, it was rough to watch. But the guy that was like kind of hosting the video was super nice about it all. And then you notice that every video there was no complaint at all. And of course I buy most games I even have the slightest remote inkling of interest in. And so I got it and I played it. God, I hate that I keep doing that. I know we're running hot. Make sure both are running. There's a clear difference from a game being hard to make and honest mistakes being made. Yeah. I mean, game could have been fun. Could have been fun. Can't tell if we're like sort of slipping. Gonna push the line here. Oh, we're towing that red line. Gonna go through some sand real quick. As far as I know, we're heavy, but we're not. We're on the limit to what 2D2s can pull. Now we're up to a bit of a flat going into this. And we need to go into D3I. Yeah, but that game is not this game. This game was a lot of heart and soul went into Derail Valley. Oh yeah, you can get out of the train. Like you're not stuck there. Now that I had since I got this remote early on, I can control the engines. Oh yeah, we're trying to lug all this. Each one of these is 3 tons plus the gondolas. Like, what is that? 16 tons. So we got to get everything on the rearmost part. Those cars. Those walled cars. Past this line. There's actually a mod for Derail Valley to make it multiplayer. Don't think it's that great, but it exists. Never tried it. Oh yeah, I mean you can like throw, you can, if you're going even what, 10 over speed limit, you can straight up send your train off a cliff. Your entire train. slowing up a bit. I don't know. I'm surprised it's a Unity game. Where's the part where the game runs like shit while still looking like a potato? For this one? Yeah, no kidding. I do wish they could do or give me the option in settings to extend out level of detail or terrain detail, because you get to these beautiful, like, gorgeous spots in the game where you're about to go over a bridge and the sun's cresting over the top of a mountain and stuff like that. And you get there and it looks gorgeous up close, and then you look far and you can't see any more trees, and then as you get closer the trees start popping in. So we can turn that one in. Where's... I do wish they made the green light a little taller for the station office. So 22 grand. Here, we can look at this. Got an extra almost 7,500 for being quick. So now we need to pull forward. Don't need that one. We need to pull forward to, at minimum, this one. Well, has to be this one. And this one is going to C3I. So keep left and right. Passenger trains are coming in a future update. However, there's a mod already out that enables passenger. It just treats them like cargo and not like actual passengers. You go to a, it adds if from my recollection, it adds like a cargo loading terminal to a passenger terminal. It is hard downhill past this. So kind of have to work the brake a little. Just don't run the passengers off a cliff. No kidding. Well, this stream I've already had 2 derails. Like I looked over and was trying to set my OBS up to look a little nicer with TikTok and all that. But I look back and I had another scenario where it was like 70 kilometers an hour speed limit zone and it just drops to 30, and I thought I was safe for a little bit, but it did that, and then I was in the side of a mountain, like derailed and just went straight in the side of the mountain. So I just pulled up an autosave. I'll be honest, I didn't want to deal with the derail fees and stuff, so I'm not going for a realistic playthrough here. Well, how to keep it E-rating? There's just autosave every like what, 5 minutes ish. You can set that up yourself. But in like a realistic playthrough, you cannot, there's like not an auto save. So, oh no, I pulled back too far. Break. I don't know how I missed that. Probably because it got dark on me. I wasn't. Shouldn't be too bad. Where's that? That's the switch I wanted to change. Not this one. Yeah, if you want to watch, if you want a decent like let's play. Squirrel is actually I like watching his content like on a lot of the different simulators that are out. But he's currently doing a let's play of Derail Valley in a realistic game mode, or a realistic mode that he's like kind of set up himself. So now it limits this teleport hopping to like he can only go about that far while I can go that far. It disables auto save. He can still save whenever, but it just disables the automatic nature of the save. So like if he makes a mistake and derails or blows up a steam engine or stuff like that, he's got to revert back to when he started his game. Like when he started that day of streaming or whatever. But no, the remote control is a real thing. Or at least in the game, it's a real thing. It's an object you can buy. So he can use that. And there's tricks to get around, like needing the MU license, the multiple unit license. I was doing that earlier before I had completed 2 contracts and bought it. Just about to finish these 2 contracts. If I could get the damn train to cooperate. But yeah, it allows remote control. It allows everything the game gives you. It just limits the ease of use stuff. So like being able to teleport this fast. If he's got a runaway train, he's not catching up to it because he can only go about that far. He'd be like spamming the shit out of his F key. I'm gonna go to this side, see what. And the fact that they're still updating this game. There's new stuff coming out all the time. Oh, yes. I mean, it's just the way, like, everything's measured in the metric system here in the game. That. Got an extra 14 grand for that one. Jeez Louise. Got $42,000 for that. Those cars belong to. And we have shunting jobs and 10 grand to harbor and town. Well, I guess 2. I'm willing to bet that this logistical haul, we're taking all the cars that we just brought, a bunch of the cars we just brought, and taking them back. And then railway sleepers. Railway sleepers for this. C10I. C10, basically. C is here. It says sleepers, but strongbacks. Gym with safety? I mean, it's going fine. We haven't been able to get in as much as we want to lately. Just to, like, me with my child, and her daycare just decided that they were gonna be closed from the 21st to the 27th. And didn't let anyone know until the last minute. So there's that. Thankfully, my wife is just, the school year is coming to an end, and today was her second to last day, but the last day with students was yesterday, Thursday. But yeah, like we just keep having other commitments that are, I hate to say it, but just slightly more important. Like today we should have gone, but he had given blood, and so he couldn't do any arm workouts, and I had just spent the night on a boat with my dad. Basically, I was out till like 3 a.m. Fishing, so I didn't really feel like doing legs. So I guess we'll go back to Harbor in Town and take these 2 with me. So this one's E8I and this is C1S. Pull in. We can drop at C. So we want this one on the back. So we need to pick up from C10 first. And then pick up from B1S. Thankfully, we're already in C yard. Problem we're going to have is there is not, well, actually there is, with this turntable being here. So we should be good there. Thankfully, this turntable's here, so we can turn around. I don't know why my headlight's not on. Yep, that whole load was dropped and we made About $60,000 from that haul. Oh, you're hauling ass there, bud. Okay, I didn't need you to slow down that much, but yeah, so there's these freight hauls and logistical hauls that you can do. There's so that's independent braking. There's the shunting jobs, which can pay a lot of money. However, shunting jobs just are kind of boring and tedious. Shunting is basically using one of these locomotives, because it's all you really need for shunting. Going and picking up empty cars from different sections of the one single yard. So like this one station sawmill, we've got C and B yards. Where are we? Okay, calm down. But you can make a lot of money from it. Like when you're in harbor in town and you go and do a shunting job, like they could, if you connect them fast enough, they can be up to 25, 30 grand for not having to haul a bunch of stuff a big long distance. Stop on the turntable, please. Now we turn you around. You drank tonight? What'd you drink? What's your drink of choice? Mm-hmm. The captain. Heck yeah, my dude. Oh, wrong way. Neat. Oh, dude. You're probably having some spicy burps. I love rum. It's probably my favorite alcohol. I've had some good tequila too, but it's a special night if like some shit happened if I'm drinking tequila. But normally I'm a Calypso and Pepsi kind of guy. Or Kraken and Pepsi kind of guy, or I don't drink Bacardi because that's trash. I will if it's there, but I like some cruising as well. I don't really mess with Captain too much. Patron or none. You got a point, yeah. I don't touch that, none of that Jose. No, thank you. I had rubbing alcohol. That's what I asked for when I was in Vegas, I would get ranch waters, and that's what I would ask them for. Of course, that meant my every drink was like $20, but for some tequila and soda water. No kidding. Is it though? You drink enough of them and you're just kind of like, the fuck did I do last night? Wake up and you're like, I fucked up. Wake up, you're like, where's the nearest coffee? Even though I don't drink coffee. What am I doing? I'm just... It's... Brain is not braining for me tonight. So... We want this one first. It's on this yard, C10. Should be the only one we have to switch. So the idea is before I even turn these contracts in, I can go ahead and like hook up both of these cars, these different contracts together to get ready to haul. And then after I get them together and I turn in the contracts, I don't waste any of that bonus time. I can immediately hit the track running and basically boost that bonus amount. I just wait till the sun comes back out. The route we're about to take out of the sawmill back to harbor is actually very nice. Oh, come on. Sometimes the slight issue, but the hitbox for these couplers is sometimes pretty jank. Like this one's just hanging. But it's alright. I got one. Now we find there's always one handbrake on for each set of cars. Sniffing all this diesel exhaust. You don't like the click and drag. Now, like you can have it set up to where you can like for like the turntable, I could use my mouse wheel to do that, but for everything else, it's all click and drag. Like when you're linking cars together. Everything else I've got going on is all hotkeys to control this remote. So now we got to go all the way down and hook up to this one, B1S, which is all the way to the left. So left. Worried about that one. B1S. Should just need that one. Appreciate it. It's like one of the things I do for my stream. I've gotten including the one I'm wearing, five different shirts that are all crazy, whether it's just a Hawaiian kind of shirt or this one and then the other one are both from LTT, and they're screensavers, old school screensavers. Nerd, a little bit of a nerd kind of like topic was for the shirt, but yeah, they're old school Windows XP screensavers. Of course, like they're not identical to the screensaver because of copyright, but of course, like this one's pipes, it's missing one of the colors. Oh yeah, I'm a super nerd. But the other one, the pattern's called doors. But it's windows. They just have to look like doors because of copyright. But it's got that same aesthetic of like the Windows logo screensaver where it would bounce around, or the one where they'd all fly towards you. They have 3D maze. It just, the 3D maze doesn't look as good. Go to lttstore.com and they should still have them up on their website. Yeah, they do. Apparently there's every garment that they make, at least I haven't found the hidden. There's like a Easter egg on each print that they make. So like with the 3D maze, there was a cat somewhere on it. I don't know the Easter egg on this shirt or the Doors shirt. But there's apparently is one. I like their gear. Like they make some nice attire. Their shirts are nice. Well, t-shirts are nice. I have their tools are nice. Their screwdriver and their precision screwdriver is both nice. Very, very nice. Probably my favorite screwdriver. What else? I have their backpack. It's my daily driver. I use that thing That thing goes to work with me just about every day, unless I'm on the motorcycle. I have their magnetic cable management system now because they were running a big sale on it. Haven't got a chance to install it, but it's there. I own it. My computer is actually cooled by one of their products as well. They sell PCM 7950, I think it is. Or PTM 7950 or something like that. And it's phase change material. It comes to you solid in a pad about that big, and like I took off my CPU cooler and you throw that when you get it in the freezer, so you have a pad of it and it stays hard and solid, and then you take some scissors, cut it out, and then you get a perfectly even layer of thermal paste, basically, because once it heats up it turns into thermal paste. And so now my computer is cooled using that rather than I had Cryonaut on there, but it was old at that point. It had been in the system for a while. Cool it every time, like what? I mean, there's a CPU cooler over it. When you're going to use the thermal pad, yes, you'll want to do that, because if you let it warm up and then you try to apply it, it'll just be all goopy. It'll melt in your hands, kind of, from just your body heat. It absorbs, it attracts and takes in heat very well, and so the temperature of your fingers will cause it to go from a solid back. Yeah, I was just doing maintenance on my computer. The Cryonaut I had in there was like 4 years old, and so once it gets that old, you're just it just doesn't perform as well anymore. Now you talking about card, my 4090 I haven't cracked into yet, mainly because on the newer 40 class, the 3090, I could get away with just thermal paste, and or the 3080 I had, you could get away with thermal paste and thermal pads everywhere. And thermal pad is like a thick rubbery pad that just has kind of good heat transfer qualities to it. But on the new 4090s, I'm pretty sure that they might still be thermal paste, but they also could be using liquid metal like the PS5s do, and I don't want to mess with that shit. Plus, this freaking GPU has such a chunk of a cooler on it. I don't think I'm super worried about it. You need a new rig, but you're trying to finish your project. Why would the new rig cause you to not finish your project? Go right. That way, go right. That way, through City South. That's all set up already. Over to Harbor. Okay. Good. Oh. You want a new rig. Well, you can do what Bot just did. I had him a fully built PC minus a GPU for like, I want to say it was like 700, 800 bucks. And it was like a good PC where you could, it was definitely upgradable. There's a lot of avenue to upgrade very easily. It was on the new DDR5 or new now-ish. It's kind of going into mainstream more now, but DDR5, he has a Ryzen 8600 and so that's like one generation old now. Current gen is 9000. Easy room to get. I think he had 32 gigs of RAM. He did this for his daughter, and they all built it themselves. A decent power supply, and you can pick up a one of the new Intel B60 GPUs that's supposed to release soon, that is apparently tuned for 1440p gaming. What they say, the new AMD cards, the 9060s that are coming out are supposed to be tuned for 1440p gaming. It just depends on, like, when you're deciding whether you're going to stream or if you're going to do any form of content creation, that is the moment when you decide, do I want Intel, NVIDIA, or AMD? And basically, once you come to the conclusion that, yes, I want to do some form of content creation as far as like live streaming, that's going to immediately tell you that you want an NVIDIA GPU just because of how well ingrained OBS is with NVIDIA GPUs and the ability to stream. Yeah, NVIDIA. Yeah, this isn't talking about your processor, like your CPU. You could go Intel or AMD. Right now, I would strongly more point you towards AMD just due to the past few generations from Intel have had issues. But that's what I would say. We're going to complete this run and then we're probably going to call it there because I am feeling it. Yeah. once we get to harbor and town and drop these loads off, we're at half oil. Oof. We got a quarter of a tank left on fuel, which should be enough. Yeah. Should be enough. We're getting low on battery too, which that should recharge once we get to harbor. Once we get past this southern bit, right between Sawmill and Forest South, I think we'll have to do a little bit of climbing in the city south, but like it should be kind of free flowing, like downhill. And then we'll pay off the licenses or the fees, because technically we're renting these two locomotives. We could do most of the maintenance ourselves and like only have to pay half, but again, it's another hassle to deal with, which once we get the museum up and running and we get our own, like find our own derelict trains out in the world and tow them back to the museum and like actually get them built up and stuff, then we have to do all that ourselves anyway. But right now we don't. We could just pay the fees and have, once we pay the fees off, we'll have full oil, full fuel, full sand, and the overall health of the locomotive will be back up top. It is really in depth. Like you have to do all that when you're dealing, you have to do all that plus deal with water and fuel, like coal or whatever, for the steam engines. Yeah, you can do shunting, and it's not like you pick up with a crane and stuff and load it. With shunting, you line up all the cars and you take them to the loading zone, and then you have to go and just go to a terminal and press load, and it like dunk 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 dunk. It'll do it all at once, but you have to turn in your contract and figure out exactly what cars, because on a contract sheet it can only need 3 cars, but on that one line there's probably 15 cars, probably, like just random number. And you have to pick the 2 cars that just happen to be in the middle, so you have to like link up all these cars that are in front of it, tow them out, find an empty bay to put them in, unlink those, parking brake, pull forward, back in, pick the 2 cars up you need, pull forward, then you have to go across the yard to another set of cars that you need. Yeah, a lot of planning. I just realized something. Son of a bitch. We're right by Forest South. The length is about 160 meters long, but small problem is the fact that I didn't turn in the contracts. I'm tired. God, I didn't turn in these contracts. Now I gotta do that real quick, and like it's probably gonna yell at me and be like, they're not in this area. Watch them. Yeah, I went too far. They're gonna despawn. So, well, fuck me. Whoops-y daisy. Son of a bitch. Entirely pointless. The whole thing I just did, just up in smoke. I just completely like was like, oh, time to go. Got him hooked up. Time to go. Hell yeah, big rip. Now I have to get over there. Oh God. Climb. The bad thing is these cars don't despawn. So what we'll do is I don't know. It will. Okay. I don't know how much it costs to do this, but we're about to do it. All right. Poof. No more hazard to navigation. And now... Oh, God. $9,000 to fast travel to harbor with the locomotive. If I just go myself 1,000. I mean, I have the money, but now I'm not getting the money. I wonder, actually, I should probably... I'll pull into Coal Mine South here, just up the road. And they'll generate missions to take us up to coal power plant. I don't know if I can take those jobs just yet because of potential hazmat. However, if I do, that'll get us away from harbor. Because every run lately has been harbor to Force South, harbor to City West, harbor to City South, harbor to Sawmill. It's just been bouncing the slower zone, and we have not gotten up here much. So we'll go to Coal Mine South. We'll look at the missions that we have there, and we might accept one and then save and be done for the evening, and we'll get back to this tomorrow. So for now, we'll drive to Coal Mine South. We are somewhere here. So we want to go left at the next junction and go to Coal Mine South. So that should be it for that. It should be set up. And now technically we kind of haul ass. We'll look at paying our fees while we're there because we probably wouldn't make it to coal power plant. For hauling ass. Coal power plant's right there. Or not power plant, but Coal Mine South. I do know that up ahead there's a speed limit for 60, and I think the left one is gonna be like super slow. I don't think there's not like a true third person. There is a camera mode. Okay, not that kind of camera mode. This one. And you can like, you could drive from up there. I appreciate the follow, Trucker Jim. Welcome in. Yeah, that camera is pretty cool, like if you're trying to catch some cinematics, but like trying to drive from that position, you can't see the speed limit signs that are coming up, and if you're going too fast, you're gonna end up off the cliff into the river. Station map, coal mine south, that's city south, coal mine south. We're coming in from this side, and let's go into B, and then we'll see what happens from here. We might be headed right towards the back end of a car. Kind of keep right. Keep right. The fee for derailing at all is different based on how far away you've managed to make it. Oh look, we got a steam engine blocking our way. All right, so we're going to shut these down because we're low on either one. Find the green light. Yeah, coal power plant. Shunting job. Shunting job. So we'll stack those up. Steel mill. Oh no. Gah. Oof. Big oof. Let's look at that. All right. So I only have to pay $27.52 to fill everything up. The big oof I'm talking about is R2D2s would never be able to pull this, like just to get to coal power plant. 960 tons is way too heavy. Now our two locomotives could pull this one, but it'd be risky. Technically they're rated for 300 tons up a 2% grade. That's without rain. Looks like there's some fog later. So we could do that. It just like we'd be like full bore the entire time. And then I saw this one and I was like, oh my god, mega oof, because 1,300 tons, almost 1,400 tons to steel mill is well, yeah, not happening ever. Not until we get DE6s, and even then we might need 2 DE6s. We probably need 2 DE6s to run that. That being said, we have this empty car haul for 12 grand to goods factory in town, which is really doable. We don't really want to go back to harbor in town because goods factory in town is up here, so we'd have to run all the way up here, and then if we took that harbor job, we'd end up back at harbor, which we don't want because we keep ending up back at harbor. 960. So like basically those two are just too much. These two are not pushing it. They should be fine to pull, but like steel mill is here on the way to goods factory in town. That's probably what we would do. We would do this one. We would load up this one first, hook up to this one first, and then we would hook up to this one, because we would drop this one off on the way at steel mill. We would drop this one off here, so we'd want it on the back, and then we would drop the other one up off at goods factory. So we definitely need to pay off our fees because yeah, we're I'm sorry, what did that say? Pay your fees. Oh no, I do owe all that. Great. Okay, well, we're gonna be broke. Now at least the locomotives are refueled and all that. And I should have took that line that took us through. Can I? Poof. There's plenty of them out there. So this one first. It's on B5S. We are in the B yard. So we need to go through and then back on. We will just crank up one. This one doesn't. We won't crank this one up yet, though. B5S. And this time I need to remember to actually turn in the contracts so I don't do a lot of work for nothing. Yeah, I mean, it drops you in. It trains you. It teaches you how to train. And then you are just like ejected out into the world with the D1 DE2, and you're like, yeah, okay, figure it out from here. So D5S. That line right there. Yeah, you liked that one, didn't you? Trained you. Train puns. Yeah, I'm never buying the sugar-free version again. I'm only drinking that because I ran out of monsters. I didn't pick any from the store today. Nice. Okay. I don't remember. This shows 6 cars. I think these cars are not ours. So, but these aren't not hooked up. Okay, correct. Okay, you're not. One of these has to have its parking brake engaged. This one. So these cars don't even belong to us. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the next one is at, oh, the same area. Okay, this is 5. So that's probably 7 right next to us. Or the one next to that. Yeah. So we gotta go past this one here. we're almost there. And I definitely will say, I will turn these in and then save and then close the game out. And that'll be it for me. As soon as I get this one hooked up. Looks like we got a full charge while at the yard. Nice. So we're all released and ready to roll. So let me shut these down. And go turn them in so that they are in fact turned in. And there we go. I wish I would have noticed the ads coming. I would have. Well, let's save it. Yeah, I'll see you later, Eric. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. It's chill. Appreciate you, Spinner Tornado, for hanging out as well. What else we got in here? Trucker Jim, appreciate you hanging out. D Knight. Sin, appreciate you. Lurking in the background as well. Wait for ads to finish up and then call it there. All right, I hate that that got caught up by the ad break. Um, basically, I just saved and exited. Um, that was it for me, and that's why I'm saying I hate that it got caught behind the ad break because I had to wait before I said goodnight to everyone. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Big Eric, D Knight, Sinister, Trucker Jim. Appreciate y'all being here, chilling with me. Seeing the upsets and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for me. And I'll see everyone again soon. Should be back on tomorrow night. All right. Peace.